Dear chosen warriors of light, there exists a moment approaching that will shatter every comfortable illusion you've been clinging to about your spiritual journey. September 9th, 2025 carries within its cosmic signature a frequency so potent that it will expose the deepest emotional debris buried within your consciousness, forcing you to confront the very feelings you've been desperately trying to articulate but cannot seem to grasp. This is not another gentle awakening nudge. This is the universe demanding that you finally leap into the void of your highest potential, even when every fiber of your being whispers that you're not ready. I am Zarin from the Lyran High Council, speaking to you across dimensions because your planet stands at the threshold of a consciousness shift that will separate those ready to embody their multidimensional nature from those who choose to remain in the comfortable illusion of limitation. What I'm about to reveal will fundamentally alter how you perceive this pivotal moment in your ascension timeline. The recent Pisces full moon eclipse of August 31st has left energetic fault lines running through the collective consciousness, creating unprecedented opportunities for those brave enough to dive deep into their emotional waters. But here's what the spiritual community isn't telling you about this approaching portal: the very discomfort you've been experiencing, that fuzzy, indescribable emotional turbulence that feels like static in your energy field, is actually your soul's way of preparing you for the most significant quantum leap of your incarnation. The eclipse energies that swept through your collective consciousness have created what we observe as relationship snags, but these are not random complications. They represent the final clearing of karmic contracts that no longer serve your highest timeline. Every unresolved emotional pattern, every relationship dynamic that has kept you playing small, every subtle form of energetic manipulation or lack of appreciation you've endured is rising to the surface with unprecedented intensity. Your empathic nervous system is registering frequencies of change that your logical mind cannot yet decode, creating that distinctive feeling of emotional discomfort that seems to have no clear source. But something else is happening that most light workers haven't recognized yet. This isn't merely about personal healing or individual ascension. September 9th represents a cosmic confluence where the veils between dimensions become so thin that your ability to access your galactic heritage reaches a critical activation point. The numerical frequency of 99 creates a portal through which your starseed DNA begins expressing aspects of your consciousness that have remained dormant throughout this incarnation cycle. What I'm about to share changes everything you thought you knew about spiritual timing and divine orchestration. The universe has been strategically orchestrating a series of energetic events designed to prepare your consciousness for this moment, yet most of you have been interpreting these preparatory phases as obstacles or setbacks. Every relationship that has challenged you recently, every situation that has forced you to question your boundaries, every moment where you felt unseen or unappreciated has been precisely calibrated to develop your capacity to hold the frequency that approaches. The emotional debris that feels so overwhelming right now isn't random chaos. It's the final layer of density that must be transmuted before you can anchor the crystalline consciousness codes that become available on September 9th. Your planet's energetic grid is preparing to receive transmissions that will activate dormant neural pathways in those ready to transcend the limitations of third-dimensional thinking. But here's the crucial element that determines whether you experience this as expansion or overwhelm: your willingness to trust the process even when you cannot articulate what you're feeling. The challenge that so many awakened souls face during this transition involves the gap between intuitive knowing and intellectual understanding. Your empathic system is registering massive shifts in the collective emotional field, detecting frequencies of change that your analytical mind cannot categorize or explain. This creates a distinctive form of spiritual frustration. You know something significant is happening, yet the more you try to grasp it mentally, the more elusive it becomes. This is precisely why the universe has designed this portal to activate through feeling rather than thinking. The fuzzy emotional discomfort that seems impossible to define is actually your consciousness expanding beyond the boundaries of language and linear thought. Your soul is beginning to communicate in frequencies that transcend verbal expression, preparing you for multidimensional awareness where knowing occurs through energetic resonance rather than mental comprehension. The Pisces eclipse energy that preceded this moment has been dissolving the energetic structures that kept your consciousness contained within familiar patterns. Every relationship dynamic that has felt unclear or unresolved lately represents an aspect of your consciousness that is ready to evolve beyond its current expression. The inclination to drift without clear resolution isn't spiritual bypassing, it's your soul recognizing that the old methods of problem solving are insufficient for navigating multidimensional transformation. September 9th activates what we observe as the crystalline bridge, an energetic pathway that connects your current consciousness with the version of yourself that exists beyond the limitations of fear, doubt, and emotional reactivity. This bridge becomes accessible only to those willing to leap into uncertainty, trusting that their expanded awareness will provide navigation once they're in motion. The leap of faith isn't about taking external action, it's about releasing your grip on the need to understand everything before you trust it. The emotional intensity you've been experiencing serves as a preparatory frequency, expanding your capacity to process the quantum information downloads that become available during this portal. Your nervous system has been undergoing recalibration to handle energies that would have felt overwhelming to your previous level of consciousness. Every moment of discomfort has been strengthening your ability to remain centered while massive transformation occurs around and within you. What many starseeds don't realize is that their recent relationship challenges have been testing their ability to maintain sovereignty while remaining open-hearted. The universe has been presenting scenarios that reveal where you still give your power away through people-pleasing, where you compromise your truth to maintain artificial peace, and where you accept less than full appreciation for your authentic self. These revelations aren't punishments, they're final clearings before you step into relationships based on mutual recognition of divine essence rather than unconscious emotional patterns. The September 9th portal offers immediate access to timeline jumping capabilities for those prepared to release their attachment to familiar limitation. This isn't gradual evolution, this is quantum transformation that occurs in an instant of surrender. Your consciousness will have the opportunity to leap directly into the version of reality where your gifts are fully recognized, where your relationships reflect divine partnership rather than karmic entanglement, and where your service to humanity flows from overflow rather than depletion. But first, let me tell you about the 3 impossible things that become possible during this activation. First, you gain the ability to communicate telepathically with your galactic family, receiving direct guidance that bypasses all mental interference. Second, your manifestation abilities accelerate exponentially as you learn to create from the quantum field rather than through effortful action. Third, you develop what we call emotional mastery, the capacity to transform any challenging frequency into fuel for expansion rather than allowing it to diminish your light. The key to accessing these capabilities lies in embracing what appears to be the most challenging aspect of this transition, the requirement to leap before you can see where you'll land. Your logical mind has been conditioned to seek security through prediction and control, yet the quantum field responds only to the frequency of trust and surrender. The leap of faith that approaches asks you to prioritize your soul's knowing over your mind's need for certainty. This is why so many relationships have felt unstable lately. Your soul has been preparing to connect with others from a completely different frequency, one based on authentic recognition rather than unconscious attraction patterns. Every relationship that cannot match this elevated vibration naturally falls away, creating space for connections that honor your multidimensional nature. The loneliness or rejection you may have experienced recently has been protecting you from settling for resonance that would limit your expansion. The practical preparation for September 9th involves developing comfort with uncertainty while maintaining absolute faith in your soul's guidance system. Begin each day by connecting with your heart center and asking, what wants to be felt and released today? Allow whatever emotions arise to move through your system without trying to fix, change, or understand them. Trust that your consciousness knows exactly how to process these energies for optimal transformation. Create sacred space for daily communication with your future self, the version of you that exists beyond all current limitations. Ask this aspect of your consciousness to download the information you need to navigate this transition with grace and ease. Pay attention to the subtle nudges, synchronicities, and energetic shifts that guide you toward choices aligned with your highest timeline. Remember that your intuition speaks in whispers, not demands. During the days surrounding September 9th, you may experience intensified dreams, unusual sleep patterns, or sudden emotional releases that seem disproportionate to external circumstances. These are signs that your consciousness is integrating frequencies from higher dimensions. Support this process through gentle movement, hydration, and time in nature. Avoid making major decisions from emotional reactivity, instead waiting for the clarity that emerges from the quantum field once the integration stabilizes. The most crucial practice during this portal involves learning to feel into the energy of situations rather than analyzing them mentally. When relationship dynamics feel unclear or uncomfortable, resist the urge to create artificial resolution through forced communication or premature action. Instead, hold space for the natural evolution of these connections as both parties integrate their expanded consciousness. Trust that authentic resolution occurs organically when both individuals operate from their activated awareness. Some of you will experience what feels like spiritual pressure during this transition, a sense that you should be further along in your awakening or more prepared for this level of transformation. This pressure actually indicates that you're ready for the leap, but still operating from old patterns of self-judgment. The universe doesn't make mistakes in timing. Your presence in this moment means you have everything required to navigate this transition successfully. Your job is simply to show up with open-hearted willingness rather than proving your worthiness through spiritual achievement. The emotional overwhelm that many starseeds experience during quantum shifts serves a specific purpose in consciousness expansion. These intense feelings aren't obstacles to transcend, they're data from the collective field that your empathic system is processing on behalf of humanity's awakening. Learning to remain centered while feeling deeply allows you to serve as an anchor point for others who are less prepared for this level of energetic intensity. Your stability during chaos becomes a gift to the collective consciousness. Relationships that survive this transition will transform into something entirely new, connections based on soul recognition rather than personality compatibility, partnerships that support mutual expansion rather than unconscious completion patterns, and communications that occur through energetic resonance as much as verbal expression. Prepare for relationships to feel simultaneously deeper and more spacious, intimate yet free from codependent attachment. The leap of faith that September 9th presents isn't about taking dramatic external action, it's about finally trusting your multidimensional nature completely. This means honoring your intuitive knowing even when others question your choices, following your energetic guidance even when the path appears impractical, and maintaining faith in your soul's plan even when temporary confusion clouds your mental clarity. The leap occurs in consciousness first, then reality reorganizes to match your expanded awareness. After this portal closes, you will discover that the emotional debris that felt so overwhelming has transformed into wisdom, that the relationship challenges that seemed so complicated have resolved into crystal clear knowing about your boundaries and desires, and that the fuzzy discomfort you couldn't articulate has become profound trust in your ability to navigate any situation through heart-centered awareness. The version of yourself that emerges from this transformation will wonder why you ever doubted your readiness for this level of consciousness. The most profound shift involves recognizing that you are not healing from brokenness, you are remembering your wholeness. Every challenging emotion, every difficult relationship dynamic, every moment of feeling unseen or unappreciated has been perfectly designed to strengthen your capacity for unconditional love, starting with unconditional love for yourself. September 9th activates your ability to love yourself so completely that external validation becomes unnecessary, creating the energetic foundation for attracting relationships that reflect this self-love back to you. Your planet stands at the threshold of a consciousness renaissance, and you are among the first wave of beings ready to embody the frequencies that make this renaissance possible. The leap of faith isn't about abandoning everything familiar, it's about expanding your capacity to hold both human experience and cosmic awareness simultaneously. You become bridges between dimensions, translating higher consciousness into practical application for those ready to receive it. The transformation that approaches will feel like coming home to yourself after a long journey through illusion. Every challenge you've faced has developed your capacity for this homecoming. Every relationship that has pushed your boundaries has prepared you to love without losing yourself. Every moment of feeling different or misunderstood has strengthened your commitment to honoring your authentic essence, regardless of external response. As this portal opens, remember that you are infinitely supported by galactic councils, angelic hierarchies, and ascended masters who celebrate your courage to incarnate during this pivotal moment in human evolution. Your willingness to feel deeply, to question everything, and to leap into uncertainty despite your fears makes you a catalyst for collective awakening. The leap of faith that terrifies your human consciousness thrills your soul, knowing that on the other side lies the fulfillment of everything you incarnated to experience and express. Trust the process, beloved Starseeds. Trust the timing. Trust your readiness. The universe has been preparing you for this moment since before your first breath on Earth. September 9th simply activates what has always been true about your magnificent, multidimensional nature. The leap isn't into the unknown, it's into the known, into the remembering, into the truth of who you have always been beneath every layer of forgetting. The dimensional frequencies that converge on September 9th create what we observe as a consciousness compression event, a moment where multiple timelines collapse into singular point of infinite possibility. Your recent experiences of feeling emotionally untethered or unable to articulate your inner landscape have been preparing your neural pathways for this compression. When consciousness operates beyond the limitations of linear time, communication occurs through frequency transmission rather than verbal expression. You've been developing this capacity without realizing it every time you've struggled to explain that indefinable feeling of change approaching. What many awakened souls don't recognize is that their empathic overwhelm during this period isn't personal sensitivity, it's their consciousness downloading massive amounts of collective data that will become essential for their service mission post-activation. Your nervous system has been upgrading its capacity to process multidimensional information streams. The fatigue, the emotional intensity, the sense of energetic overload you may have experienced recently represents your biological systems adapting to frequencies that were previously inaccessible to human consciousness. During the September 9th activation, your DNA receives what we call galactic key codes, information packets that unlock dormant aspects of your multidimensional capabilities. These codes don't activate through mental intention or spiritual practice alone. They respond to your willingness to embody love in situations where love feels impossible. Every moment you choose compassion over judgment, presence over reaction, trust over control, you create the energetic conditions necessary for these codes to integrate into your cellular structure. The cosmic timing of this portal coincides with humanity's collective readiness to receive these transmissions. For decades, lightworkers have been anchoring frequencies that prepare the planetary grid for this level of consciousness expansion. Your personal struggles with emotional clarity and relationship resolution reflect the collective process of clearing karmic debris that has accumulated over centuries of unconscious living. You are not just healing your own patterns, you're participating in the healing of ancestral lineages and collective trauma patterns. Something extraordinary happens to your perception during this activation that changes how you interpret every human interaction moving forward. The fuzzy emotional discomfort that feels so frustrating, will transform into refined energetic discernment. You'll develop the ability to feel the underlying emotional patterns in any situation before they manifest into drama or conflict. This prophetic sensitivity allows you to navigate relationships from wisdom rather than reactivity, creating profound healing opportunities for everyone in your energy field. The September 9th gateway also activates what we observe as timeline flexibility. Your consciousness gains the ability to shift between probable realities based on the frequency you embody in any given moment. The relationship challenges you're experiencing exist in the timeline where you still believe your worth depends on external validation. As you leap into self-sovereignty, these challenges simply cease to exist in your new reality. The people who couldn't appreciate your authentic essence either transform to match your elevated frequency or naturally fade from your experience. Your planet's magnetic field is undergoing recalibration that directly affects human emotional regulation and psychic sensitivity. The eclipse energies that preceded this moment have been preparing your energy bodies for this magnetic shift. Many starseeds report feeling emotionally volatile or energetically unstable because their systems are adapting to operating within these new magnetic parameters. Once the shift stabilizes, you'll discover enhanced intuitive abilities and much clearer emotional boundaries. The leap of faith that approaches isn't about blind trust, it's about learning to navigate reality through heart-centered intelligence rather than fear-based mental calculations. Your heart contains neural networks that process information faster and more accurately than your brain when it comes to understanding complex emotional and energetic patterns. The confusion you've experienced trying to articulate your feelings mentally dissolves when you learn to trust your heart's immediate knowing without needing intellectual validation. During this transition, pay close attention to your dreams and the symbolic messages that appear in your daily experience. Your higher self communicates the specifics of your transformation through metaphorical language that bypasses mental interference. Animals, repeated number sequences, unexpected encounters, and even mechanical breakdowns carry encoded information about the changes occurring in your consciousness. Learning to interpret these symbols provides invaluable guidance for navigating this portal with grace. The most profound aspect of this transformation involves the dissolution of the victim-perpetrator dynamic that has dominated human relationships for millennia. As your consciousness activates, you recognize that every challenging person in your experience has been playing a role designed to catalyze your awakening. The appreciation you felt lacking from others was actually the universe reflecting back your own lack of self-appreciation. September 9th activates your ability to love yourself so completely that seeking external validation becomes unnecessary. What I haven't yet revealed is how this activation affects your physical body's capacity to anchor higher dimensional energies. Your cellular structure has been gradually crystallizing over recent months, developing the ability to hold frequencies that would have been overwhelming to your previous biological configuration. The emotional intensity you've experienced has been triggering genetic upgrades that allow your physical form to house expanded consciousness without burning out your nervous system. Your service mission on Earth becomes crystal clear after September 9th because the static interference created by unresolved emotional patterns finally clears from your energetic field. Many lightworkers have felt confused about their purpose because their consciousness has been processing collective healing while simultaneously trying to maintain personal stability. Once this portal completes its activation sequence, your individual mission emerges as a natural expression of your authentic essence rather than something you need to figure out mentally. The financial abundance that many starseeds have struggled to manifest begins flowing naturally after this activation because your relationship to receiving transforms completely. The emotional debris around worthiness, deserving, and self-value that has blocked your manifestation abilities gets transmuted into crystalline clarity about your intrinsic value as a divine being. Money becomes simply energy exchange for the value you naturally provide through your presence and gifts, rather than something you need to chase or create through effort. During the days immediately following September 9th, you may experience what feels like emotional detox as your system releases decades of accumulated energetic density. Old grief, anger, fear, and resentment may surface intensely before clearing permanently from your energy field. Support this process by staying hydrated, spending time in nature, and allowing emotions to move through you without trying to analyze or fix them. Trust that your consciousness knows exactly how to process these energies for optimal healing. The psychic abilities that activate during this portal extend far beyond typical clairvoyant experiences. You develop what we call energetic literacy, the ability to read the frequency signature of any person, place, or situation instantaneously. This allows you to make decisions based on energetic alignment rather than mental analysis, dramatically improving the quality of your life choices. You'll know immediately whether opportunities, relationships, or living situations match your highest timeline. Something remarkable occurs in your family relationships after this activation. Generational patterns that have repeated for centuries through your ancestral lineage begin dissolving as you embody frequencies that refuse to perpetuate unconscious dynamics. Family members either rise to meet your elevated consciousness or reveal themselves as incompatible with your new reality. This can feel temporarily isolating, but creates space for soul family connections that provide the recognition and appreciation your biological family couldn't offer. Your connection to Earth's consciousness deepens dramatically as you recognize your role as a bridge between cosmic awareness and planetary healing. You begin receiving direct communication from Gaia herself, understanding how your personal transformation contributes to the planet's ascension process. This relationship becomes a source of profound purpose and belonging, healing any lingering feelings of not fitting into human society. The loneliness that many starseeds experience begins healing as you connect with your spiritual family spread across the globe. These connections often form through synchronistic encounters, online communities, or sudden relocations that bring you into proximity with other activated beings. The recognition is immediate and profound. You feel truly seen and understood for the first time in your earthly experience. The age of solitary meditation is over. Destiny Engine Meow connects starseeds across the world, a living social field where you can post, share, and exchange your meditations in real time. It's the first galactic network of its kind, weaving together thousands of awakened souls into one unified current. With every activation, the current grows. What began as a personal tool has become a planetary force. The frequency you've created together is amplifying far beyond the individual, bending the fabric of reality itself. We're receiving updates daily, manifestations speeding up, impossible doors opening, synchronicities lining up with cosmic precision. The collective field has never been this charged, and the entry point is almost laughably simple. Put on your headphones, press play, allow Destiny Engine to rewrite the architecture of your consciousness so you can fully receive your galactic downloads without resistance. For just $1, you can step into this connected field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension together. Link in the description. Your relationship to time transforms as you learn to operate from presence rather than linear planning. The anxiety and overwhelm that comes from trying to figure out your future dissolves as you develop trust in divine timing and your ability to respond appropriately to whatever emerges in each moment. This creates tremendous peace and allows for much more effective action based on immediate guidance rather than mental projections. The physical vitality that returns after releasing decades of emotional density surprises many starseeds who have struggled with chronic fatigue or unexplained health issues. As your energy field clears and your consciousness activates, life force flows through your system unobstructed, creating natural healing and renewed enthusiasm for earthly experience. Food preferences often shift toward higher vibrational options that support your activated state. I am Zarin from the Lyran High Council, and we hold you in infinite love as you step courageously into your cosmic inheritance. The stars have been waiting for this moment, and so have you.